out here in my truck. Can't hardly hear her now, but she's heading. So what's up, guys? If you're clicking on this video, you're probably wondering, I'm fixing to maybe buy my first excavator. Maybe I'm fixing to venture off into the excavation world, and the machine that's standing behind me is usually one of the first machines bought for what I do, for what I'm talking about. The major question of the day is, what excavator do you buy? There's all these sorts of types of brands and all these sorts of different types of models. What excavator do I buy if I were to get my first excavator? And you may hear me say some things that probably you haven't heard of yet. That's probably why you're clicking on this video. But there's things that you need to take into account that has nothing to do with size, color, or anything like that. So let's check it out. Come on. First couple of things we need to figure out: size. You need to figure out what kind of work you're doing. I think a lot of guys get this messed up. They go out and buy a 2 or 3 ton or 12, 15,000, 10,000 pound machine, and what kind of work can I line up to do with this machine? And I think this is where a lot of guys screw up, is they buy a machine and then try to find work that fits that machine class, and they find out really quickly, oh my gosh, I need a bigger machine, or oh my gosh, I need a smaller machine, and then they're constantly renting and pissing away their profits. Your boy knows all about that. So what I'm trying to do is prevent that for you. Behind me, I have a John Deere 60G machine. I have also and we rent this machine. We also have a 35G John Deere. And at this point for me, on these Mini X's, I'm not buying these Mini X's anymore. I would highly recommend you not buy a Mini X. What? What did he just say? I would highly recommend you not buy a Mini X. I would highly recommend you putting a Mini X on a 3-year lease. I highly recommend you renting the machine for the work that you have coming down the pipeline. Get the work first, then go get the machine. I know that sounds backwards, but I'm telling you, you don't even know what you're looking at if you go buy a 35G and you need a 308 right off the bat, or an 80 series machine. Like, it makes zero sense. So why am I talking about leasing instead of buying, guys? Well, this machine's a good example. This machine was bought a couple years ago. It's been rented. Obviously, it's a little bit different story. But renting or leasing a machine below 15,000 pounds, you're normally going to put that machine into a space that a bigger machine is needed, but it's not able to fit in. So we're going to use a little smaller size machine, make it do a bigger machine's job. Okay, there's one reason. Number two, the maintenance in 3 years, 5 years, when this Mini X is done doing what you're asking it to do after the scenario we just talked about, it's not gonna be worth a crap. If you guys go look at our OG stuff, our Bobcat stuff, our first Mini X and skid steer, I leased that Mini X on a 5-year lease. Don't do 5-year leases on anything less than 15,000 pounds. That's just a rule of thumb for me now. 3 years is about that mark. Downtime, guys. Downtime. You don't want to be working on this machine, okay? I've kind of talked about, do we buy, do we lease, etc. But the size of the machine, if you're dead set on going and picking up a Mini X, let's talk size. You've got anything from, since I'm standing behind a John Deere, I'll use some of the John Deere models. You got a 17 size machine, which basically 3-foot tracks. You can get in a 3-foot gate. All the tracks were tracked. I know that's quite a bit to say. Small bucket, small digging force. We have a 35G, which there's 17, 27, 35, 45, or maybe a 50 series, 60 series, 80 series, 80, 85 series, and then you're basically out of that Mini X stage. Most applications, you're not going to need a 308 or an 80 series size machine. That's a bigger machine. This machine right behind me, the 50, 60 series. 60 series is almost too big for the normal man starting out because you can't hardly pull it behind a pickup. You got to have a pintle hitch because the tracks are so wide. That 50 series, 45, 50 series machine, I don't care if it's Bobcat, John Deere, Doosan, Geel, Caterpillar, John Deere, Hitachi, Takeuchi. I mean, I just named, I don't care. Find the best dealer with the best service to fight your downtime, because that's the best machine for you. If you want to go buy a Cat machine and you got a small Caterpillar dealer network in your location, you're probably not going to get parts real quick. You're probably going to be down a little bit longer than, say, there's a bigger lot in town with a bunch of Takahachis on it, or Komatsus. Hey. I'm just saying, the perfect size is really hard to determine for yourself. But that 45, 50 series, you can still put behind a truck, a pickup truck, and be legal. And you still got quite a bit of machine there to do digging. You've got a four-way blade to do some dress-up work, etc. Speaking on size, you see how wide this machine is. This is a 60 series, so it's going to have a little bit wider track footprint, which makes it really hard to go up in between two fenders of a smaller trailer. You need something like that pintle hitch over there with a flat deck to haul it. Well, most guys aren't starting out with a dump truck and a pintle hitch, right? So this 60 series makes things faster. You got to put a bigger bucket on it, etc. I get it, boys. I get it. Boy, do I get it. But that 45, 50 series machine, or say you're in a little bit heavier, more heavily populated area, say like DFW. See, I could find so many things in a, bigger metropolis with a smaller machine. You got tighter access points, you got tighter areas. 35G may make more sense. And if you're talking in cat terms, this 60 series would be a 306. This would be a 306 to you cat guys. And I'm talking more on the 303 platform in that 45G standpoint. Or for me, it was a 45 Bobcat. What can this thing do? It can not only dig ditches, trenches, whatever you guys call them from wherever you're at. We can put in utilities in, but we can also go to that house, grab the bushes out of the yard, make that $300 there minimum. We can also use our blade, go around, re-drain everything around the house, completely do grading work. We can do a whole lot with this machine. In my opinion, the next best machine to pair with this obviously is a skid steer or a backhoe, depending on how you learned. But a Mini X is what literally built this company, doing residential stuff, just nothing commercial until about 5 years ago. And it was just Mini X's and skid steers. Then we bought another we started renting a larger Mini X, and then we ended up buying our 308 and covering those two kind of platforms. But now with our bigger gear, necessarily don't use the Mini X's as much. So if you're a first-time guy, don't get caught up in the brands. Do not get caught up in having only Cat, only John Deere, only this, only that. Number one thing you've got to fight with owning machinery is downtime. You're already dealing with a high as hell payment every month that you've got to make. And if you're renting it, it's even worse, But that's the argument I have with renting. Guess what? I fight downtime. This machine goes down and I'm renting it, call somebody. Bring me a new machine. I need a new machine today, right now. I don't care about it getting fixed. I don't care about what parts it takes. I don't care about getting a mechanic there, none of that. Just give me a new machine, my boys can go back to digging. So there's big added benefits to renting, but also too, the payment's probably 4 times as high as that owning that machine. So all about what you're trying to design and do. Wow, that is a big bug. I don't do bees channel. If you're wanting to have one machine, kind of make that machine your money maker, not looking to grow, not looking to scale, not looking to do any of that, haul behind your pickup, make 2 stops a day, 1 stop a day type of deal, that 45, 50 series machine is for you. That 45, 55, so that's a 305 and a half in the Caterpillar terms. That's the 45, 50 series in the John Deere terms. It's that sweet spot, and I think that's like 9,000 to 12,000 pounds. So would that be that 3 to 4 ton machine? There's so much that can be said to be done with this. Now, if you guys want to start going in the cabin, like start getting into features and radios and all this other crap, I would tell you 100% if this is going to be your only machine, make sure you got cab on it. AC and heat. If you're going to be in that thing every day, you don't want to be in an open cab. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be dreading to get out of that air-conditioned truck to get in some open cab machine. You want to be in this machine as long as possible because this machine's making you money. Do yourself a favor, cab it up, and if it's 5 degrees outside or 105, you can still dig and make your money and make that payment. Buckets. Let's talk about buckets. I would say 2 foot depending on the material that you're digging in. We're in the Ozark Mountains here. We deal with a lot of rock. So a 3-foot bucket isn't something the best to be starting with, in my opinion, if you're gonna be digging any type of trenches. 3 foot, that's a lot of material you're moving out, right? When you're dealing with rocky situations, normally a 2-foot's about perfect to go on your Mini X. Maybe an 18-inch if you're not having to do any commercial work with it and need that 2 foot of ditch. What about thumb? Sure, if you're gonna be doing a lot of demos, if you're gonna be doing a lot of grabbing individual homeowner stuff, a thumb can make your money back on that machine so fast. Blade pretty much comes standard, but I would go ahead and get that 4-way design where you can, anything to make your track spin one less time. So if I'm slot pushing this area and I've got some windrows, I want to be able to turn that blade and push those windrows, all 3 windrows, into one windrow and make one more pass and I'm done, rather than doing 6 or 7 passes. That's what I mean when I say I want these tracks to be spinning as less as possible, because the fuel's gonna eat you alive, right? But if I haven't made it as big of a point as it is, I don't care what brand. I'm happy for you, no matter what machine you sign for. Couldn't be happier for you. But just fight that downtime bug. That is the biggest thing I think folks have problems with once they either go and buy the machine and they're not nowhere near prepared enough to, because I don't know how to work on my own crap. I got to rely on somebody to do that for me. And now experience has said a lot. I can, work my way around most things, but you've got to be able to service your machine, stay on top of the preventive maintenance stuff so you're not dealing with that downtime. And man, there's a lot to be said when you're a young entrepreneur and you don't have a bunch of people everywhere to be able to make that phone call and go, hey, so-and-so, bring me a new machine, this one's broke. Yes, you're making a higher payment, but if you're bidding correctly, that's a whole different video coming for you guys in the month of July. If you're bidding correctly, you should be able to rent a machine every single time anyways. All right, I've said my spiel, talked about downtime, talked about leasing versus buying, I've talked about thumb, bucket size, what size machine, loading, unloading. If you've made it to this point and you're truly still going to buy your first machine, let's talk about options. You can 100% go to your hometown bank, say I need 100 grand to go buy this machine, and it works, it's no problem. If you're going to be in this game long, and you're gonna be scaling, and you're gonna be buying machines, I would highly recommend you going through their financing at the dealership. I know that sounds crazy. Your payment might be a little bit higher than your hometown bank. Your interest might be lower if you're going for a newer machine. And in this weight class, guys, don't go buy a used machine. Please don't. Unless it's got 200 or 300, 500 hours on it, you're just buying somebody else's freaking problem. Just go buy you something new or lease something new. It's too easy for you guys. I see too many guys going out and buying clapped out machines and, hey, I'm an excavation contractor, and in 3 months they can't keep the machine running. And finance through your dealer. What are you doing when you do that? You're building a relationship past your dealer network. So Cat Commercial, Komatsu Financial, those are the types of things to build relationships with so you can buy more gear as you're moving down. I wish somebody would have told me that instead of, hey, go use your hometown bank. Yes, my hometown bank is going to give me a fair interest rate. Yes, they're going to give me a payment that works for my financials. Yes, they're looking out for me. But at the same time, they're looking out for me so they can get their next money. That dealer wants that machine to run for you every single day, run hard, run fast and efficient. And when it's not, they're gonna be there, especially if you're financing it through them. It's gonna give them even a little bit more of a reason to jump at you and jump at the machine, get it fixed ASAP, because they wanna sell you another machine. See how this all works? The hometown bank, they just want you to make that payment every month. They're not doing anything else for you. Build that relationship, and as you build this relationship with those guys at this specific dealer that you've already checked out and has a great service department, when your machine does go down and you've got this great working relationship, what do? Hey, Bubba, my machine that I bought 3 months ago, yeah, it's taking a giant poop. Yep, it's not working and I need your help. And watch how fast they come running, because they want to sell you that next machine. Now, to that guy that's just buying the one machine to pull behind his trailer, totally understand. Downtime's not going to be as big of a deal to you because you don't have hundreds of dollars sitting, thousands of dollars sitting there waiting on this machine to run and payroll, etc. You can get a little bit more specific on brand and breakout force, and we can go off into depth on that. Drop down in the comments on anything that you might, anything that I didn't cover. If you're wanting to ask me, hey, what do you think about the John Deere is versus the Cat? We can do that video, guys. And I can get extremely specific, but this is a generalistic guy trying to jump in for his first machine, trying to figure this out. I'm hopefully bringing you guys some points, different points to be thinking about, and longevity. Hey, get the warranty. Always get the warranty, for the love of God. Not all the warranties, but your powertrain, your hydraulic warranty, stuff like that, get the warranty. It's gonna drive that payment up, but it kills that downtime again, right? I hope I brought you guys a couple of good points with working in your first machine. You guys have seen already from some B-roll, we have plentiful excavators here. Got a kind of a good idea of what I'm talking about. I've been through Bobcat, I've got Caterpillar, I've had Takeuchi, we've had John Deere's, we've had Bobcats, we've had them all. And I'm trying to bring you the points of experience as to hopefully lead you in the best guiding light for you to start making money tomorrow. If this video was helpful for you guys, it helps the channel so much. Hit that thumbs up button for me, and if you haven't yet, guys, hit that subscribe button. We have got double uploads coming through the entire month of July. Small snippets like this, showing you guys, trying to get a little bit more in depth with you guys in the stuff that you guys have been looking for. So smash that like. If I missed something in this video, hit it in the comments below. I don't want to miss out on anything that you guys are wanting me to cover. So make sure and drop that down in the comments below. Our new website's coming, new merch store's coming. There's so much coming for you guys. It's silly. I'm excited. God, I'm excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time, be safe, be kind, and be humble. Be good.